I watched two games today on two different TV screens. I watched Dortmund against Gladbach on the left side and Manchester United Crystal Palace on the right side. And we can talk about players all we want, but Manchester United should be up there with Dortmund. And it was unbelievable to see the lack of speed by Manchester United. When they went forward, it was slowly. They didn't have that counter ability when they got a chance to come forward. They would play the ball backwards. You saw the young American Reina always getting the ball, taking people on. I mean, that's what we was used to see Manchester United do. I was in England when that team was invincible. A game like today against Crystal Palace, and I agree, Roy Hodgson's done a fantastic job at Crystal Palace. When you are 1-0 down against them, they will find a way to kind of punish you. But when you saw Manchester United today, there was nothing that can excite you. Yes, Jadon Sancho or another player, any player at the moment, could excite that team. But if you take man for man, and if you see that defense of Manchester United, I'm coming back to Lindelof, more or less involved in 3 of the goals. And Maguire, I mean, where should I start? I mean, he is, sometimes we try to compare with Van Dijk, please. I mean, that is a big difference. So you have to cover those weaknesses. So your lack of a central defender, at least, say Maguire will be okay, he's the captain of the team. In midfield, you have no speed. You need that kind of Sancho, whatever, a striker in there. Then you expect that Greenwood will have that fantastic season again. You can't. Greenwood, everything that he will do at the moment is bonuses for you that he will keep on doing that in the second year. So Manchester United got to speed up. They have to do better in the transfer window, but even more importantly, they have to do better on the pitch, and they should beat Crystal Palace at home. That has nothing to do with a transfer window or when we see some leaders saying that they're trending on Twitter and that it's the main thing for Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson must be furious, and he will probably put that mask over his eyes during the game today.
I want to talk to you about the penalty. Of course, a lot of talk about it. First off, our colleague Don Hutchinson on Twitter shouting and raving. He's saying that it wasn't a penalty. There's no way it was handball. Stevie?
Listen, if he'd been half a yard closer to Ayew, then I would have said 100% not a penalty. But he wasn't as close as he should be as a defender. You know, I was a defender, and if I got close enough, touch tight, and it hits me in the arm, then I feel as though I'm being aggrieved if a penalty's given. I don't think Lindelof was tight enough. If he was a half a yard tighter and it hits his arm, then it is not a penalty. So I can understand why the referee's given it.
Shaka?
Yeah, penalty for me as well. I thought it was a penalty. I didn't think or realise there was that much debate around it, in all honesty.
Jan?
Well, the handball rule is the most difficult rule in the whole world. I think they will find a cure for cancer, peace in the world, everything before handball. I mean, it's unbelievable. What happened in the old days? Either you made a handball or you didn't make a handball. And I mean, there are some people with ties making the rules. Get rid of them and get a proper handball rule. I mean, sometimes it's handball, sometimes not. I've given up. Handball.
Palace, of course, then were given the penalty. The first one saved by David De Gea, but it was made to be retaken because he was off his line. This is something, obviously, that they are going to be stringently looking at for every penalty. Stevie, right decision?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, goalies are just going to have to change the way they approach saving penalty kicks. You know, they can only go along the line. They can't take a step forward, and that's it. So when you go training with your coach, your goalie coach, and you're going to talk about penalty kicks, then you better get some work done that makes it automatic, that instead of... Listen, goalkeepers automatically go forward, and it's going to take a little bit of time for all of them to realise that they're not going to get away with it because the camera's on them. So get yourself down to training, lads, and get going side to side, and that's it. And then it becomes natural.
Oh, what a side-to-side motion that was, Stevie. Look, it was skiing.
Well, tell you what.
Shaka?
I just renewed my membership for the Goalkeepers Union, Dan. So I'd like to plead the fifth on this one, please.
Oh, Shaka. The thing was, like, a lot of people were crying, weren't they?
Can't plead the fifth.
People were saying, well, no, this is awful, the game's gone. But it's the law. You know it's the law. You've got to stay on the line, and that's it.
In all honesty, yes, it is. And I am biased to goalkeepers for this because I feel your natural motion takes you forward slightly. So, which is why you saw the amendment where only one foot has to stay on the line.
Yeah.
So that is understandable and as much of a middle ground as you will get. If you do come over the line, if even by an inch, as Stevie points out, there are cameras on you, you're not going to get away with it anymore. So now you have to rethink your approach. But as I said, I'm a fully paid up member. It's difficult to try and curb that. How you make a save naturally in an effort to cope with the penalty.
Jan?
Yeah, if that's the rule, it's the rule, and this is the rule. I can understand. I can respect that. And when I saw Stevie doing his moves there, I'm sure there are some goalkeepers all around the world who will try to make it up. That was like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. So I'm looking forward to goalkeepers never do that mistake again.
What do you think about the fact that they then changed the penalty taker? Obviously went from Aage to Zaha. Is that all right? Is that fair, Stevie?
Absolutely. Well, listen, I didn't see Aage running across and saying, right, I'm taking this. He was a little sheepish. Obviously, they have a couple of penalty takers, Zaha being one of them.
Right.
And so, you know, when you miss a penalty kick, you're not exactly at your positive best. Let's be honest. So I have absolutely no problem with it, and Zaha blasted it into the roof of the net. So clearly it was the right thing to do, but I've no problem with it.
Do you have any problem with it, Jan?
No, I don't. I think that is good kind of management from the Crystal Palace players, and it's not like Roy Hodgson will have shouted in, change the penalty take. I think that is what the players do out there, and I think that was a fair thing to do. He missed the penalty and Zaha went up, and it's a bit paradox, isn't it, that Zaha get 2 goals and they are Manchester United then looking for that kind of player who can take people on, and then he comes back with Crystal Palace as doing that kind of a game. And like I said, VAR we can shout and we can have trouble with it. VAR will be here as long as we live. VAR will be here. So I'm giving up on those kind of things. I think what Zaha did, he did the right thing. He took responsibility, and I think that speaks for the moral of Crystal Palace. And we will take down Manchester United losing against them. But Crystal Palace need a bit praising as well. They got 6 points over the two first games. So fantastic for Roy and his boys.
Yeah, we've got to take a moment, Stevie, to talk about Palace. Obviously, as Jan mentioned, back-to-back victories now. It's got a perfect start to the season. Well,
this game today was absolutely the perfect storm for a side like Crystal Palace. You know, they unexpectedly they dominate the first 10 minutes or 8 minutes till they scored, and then from then on, Roy must have been sitting in the box going, right, you know what? All the hours we spent on the training field, moving side to side, we've got the side to side going on again. You know, keeping the ball in front of us, making the challenges. You know, blocking shots, stopping the cross, all the basic stuff that Palace and Roy do well. And then on the break, we've got more pace than we know what to do with going forward against Lindelof and Maguire. So, absolutely perfect storm. And the only problem is, there's a reason Palace were what? Second lowest in goal scoring last year, because they can't put the ball in the net. And here we go, they've got 3 at Man United. I don't know whether that says more about Palace or Man United, to be honest.
Jan, 2 weeks ago then until the transfer window closes, what are United going to do?
Well, they did well with Bruno Fernandes. It's fair enough. They took him on, and from then and out, the rest of the season, they did well, get himself into the Champions League. I watched Borussia Dortmund today. Sancho in second half was absolutely brilliant. And we were talking about him a lot. Of course, he would be the perfect player for them. But we've talked enough about that the patience, the Manchester United fans, it's not very good at the moment. They need to see new faces. And what I like, the lack of speed in this Manchester United team is terrible, and we have to give them that as well. De Beck came on as a sub today, scoring his goals. That's good for his confidence. But this Manchester United team need new faces. They need a new centre half. They somehow got to find that one. I'm not sure who that's going to be, but they got to find one quickly.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.